what is up, DBZ fans and fellow collectors alike? How are you all doing today? So I hope you guys are having an amazing, awesome new year. So anyway, you guys, I have to apologize. I've been absent for a while. Of course, holidays, it gets in the way of everything. So anyway, you guys, I'm back and I plan to be more frequent with this channel, of course. So anyway, you guys, I'm here to bring you the SH Figure Arts Super Saiyan Goku Super Warrior Awakening. I know that's a mouthful, but that's the name of the figure. So anyway, you guys, enough chitter chatter. Let's take a much closer look at the box before we look at this beautiful masterpiece. Okay, you guys, so here's the box, and at first glance you can tell a huge major difference compared to this one and the most previous releases. Anyway, so I do kind of like this box. I do like it. It's pretty cool, but I do kind of not like it, mainly because of the fact that it's a little too different. I do like the fact that this window is a bit more open, because some collectors don't tend to open their boxes and they just like to keep their figure arts, you know, boxed and displayed. So I do like the fact that it's a lot more open and, you know, a perfect display for boxed figures. Anyway, looking at the front, you guys can see figure arts Super Saiyan Son Goku Super Hero Awakening. I know that's a mouthful. Anyway, so here's a cool display of the figure, so I gotta love that. In the back, you can see a little bit more of him. Down here is toy sticker. Down here, Dragon Ball Z, and right under it is Funimation's, Bandai, and of course, the Tamashii Nations. Looking at it from the right side, you can see just a little bit of display, not really. So this is pretty much what the picture cuts off. You can see his arm, kind of his face, and at the bottom we see figure arts and then the title of the figure. And looking at it from the left, of course, we don't really get much, just, you know, the name of the figure just twice. Pretty boring. And finally, moving on to the back, which is my favorite part, because you can see various poses you can do with this awesome figure. So as you guys see right here in the bottom, the little aura, it does not come with that, unfortunately. I honestly thought it would, but it is a piece sold separately. It does say it right there, and I didn't read it the first time I opened this box. Anyway, you can see Goku in his badass poses and a whole bunch of, you know, I assume they're bios and everything, but if you guys do want to read that, feel free to pause it now. And for review's sake, I am going to compare the boxes just really quick, so you can see that the, you know, this window is a lot more open compared to this one. I do like this one mainly because they've been doing this for a while, and mainly the fact because you can move to the side, you get these little pixelated pictures with the other figures. For example, I am going to bring in the Ultimate Son Gohan, and you can tell, see, it looks a lot better. And I'm going to move this aside once more. I'm gonna go by this really fast. The back is kind of the same and everything. You can see various poses. Of course, there's minor differences, but it's still pretty cool. And of course, moving on to this side, you get at least, you know, a display of the figure and everything. As to this side, it's a little bit bland and boring. So you can see why as to I have a bittersweet, you know, taste for the new box. Okay, so enough looking at these boxes. Let's bring in the one main thing we all came here to see, the SH Figure Arts Super Saiyan Awakening Goku. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Anyway, let's get right to the figure. So here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the Battle Awakening Goku. I know it's a mouthful, so I'm just gonna call him Battle Damage Goku just for the sake of the review. So anyway, you guys, at first glance you can tell that this figure is absolutely awesome. A brand new sculpt, a brand new, you know, just paint job all over the figure, especially the hair. That's the first thing that did catch my eye. I do want to show you guys the accessories this figure does come with, because he does come, you know, with a handful. Alrighty, you guys, so most of the hands and everything pretty much have all the same skin tone. So I'm just gonna show you the hands, but I'm not really gonna get into, you know, paint job, but it is pretty well done. So anyway, we do get two pairs of these kung fu hands. So next up, I wouldn't know what to call these hands, but these seem a bit more relaxed and everything. I'll put this one down. It does seem a little bit more relaxed and everything. It actually looks like it, you know, would be grabbing something. So still a nice accessory, you know, more hands, you know, more the merrier. Next up, these are pretty standard, you know, with mostly every figure arts, but mostly on Goku figures. This is mainly the Kamehameha hands. Hold him like this and he's doing the Kamehameha, or he could be grabbing somebody's butt. Last pair of hands, these are also pretty standard. These are the open palm high five hands. Moving on to the faces, he does come with 3 faces in total. So the face he does come with originally, already attached to him, is the standard kind of an angry face, you know, making it look like he's about to get into battle and everything, you know, his most serious pissed off look. So in terms of accessory, he does come with 2 extra faces. So this is the first one, which I think is awesomely, you know, just pretty cool and everything. So the eyebrows, they are a bit darker, you know, than the usual light yellow. I do like the little color of the eyes as well. Teeth, you know, are grinding on each other, you know, just really pissed off look. This figure actually is pretty angry all over. Okay, so the last face we do get is this screaming face, and I gotta say this is by far my favorite one, mainly because This base is in a lot of iconic scenes, you know, where he's fighting Cooler or he's yelling Frieza or he's transforming. It's just absolutely cool. As you guys can tell, the eyebrows are a bit darker yellow, kind of a muddy kind of yellow. It's not bright, you know, as his hair or anything. I do like the fact that they colored in the tongue pretty well. The teeth, just all around the mouth is pretty cool. Ears are sculpted as well. To say that this feels like a must for a battle damaged Goku. Okay, so now getting into much closer detail as to the paint job and sculpt. So as far off the top, you guys can honestly tell that this is a brand new sculpt and everything. We do get a lot of Goku figures, of course, but this is a brand new sculpt. As you can tell right here, it's tailored and everything, and I do like the fact that they actually colored the hair quite differently. They didn't leave it just yellow. They actually added this little orange piece, which actually makes it look like the San Diego Comic-Con version. I'm going to put a picture right here for a little bit of a comparison. So that's pretty cool. Just a sculpt and everything. The shading on the arms and just the body in general is just pretty awesome, you guys. You can tell if all that muscular, you know, just sculpt all over. It's just pretty cool. So right here you could get a pair of toward pants, whatever the word is, but it's just pretty cool. It does give the little effect that it is blowing in the wind. So that's also pretty awesome. I did forget to take off this little plastic, so I will after the video and everything. Boots are pretty much the same and everything as far as I can tell, but overall, you guys can also tell scratches all over the clothing as well. So now I'm gonna get into articulation, which is the hard part. So there are a couple of new things actually. So the arms are pretty basic. They are on a ball peg and everything, so you can rotate them, of course, 360. They can also extend down for, you know, a larger range in motion and everything. We do get a double jointed elbow. As far as the hands go, they are on a ball peg, so you can twist them, of course, put them up and down if you get it right, of course. So moving on to the neck, it's the same thing actually. You can actually look down, actually stretch forward and back. Good enough actually, that's pretty cool. I can rotate as well, which is pretty awesome. So what I did want to mention that is actually pretty new was this belt right here. I mean, of course all the belts can move and everything, but the fact that this can move kind of slightly back and forth is the fact that it won't hinder articulation. As far as, yeah, actually he does have an ab crunch right here, but he can't really move forward and back too much. Also, what's missing on this figure is that little ball peg where pretty much all the Goku standards have this, is where you pull it up. And yeah, this one does not have that, unfortunately. So as far as this goes, I absolutely love the fact that this torque parts actually move with the figure right here, and they don't actually connect or anything. They're not bumping into each other. That's pretty cool. And of course, as far as the feet go, of course you can move in 360, and of course he does have a little toe pivot.
Baking pancakes, making bacon pancakes. Take some bacon and I'll put it in a pancake. Bacon pancakes, that's what it's gonna make. Bacon pancakes. Bacon pancakes, making